Hey lovelies, Jennifer here from Her Crown. Welcome back to my channel. I have been natural for over 5 years, and when I tell you I've made so many mistakes, guys, I've made so many mistakes that has set me back 2 or 3 years in my natural hair journey. Now I have put together about 10 of those mistakes that I made because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. I want you to be able to put in effort in your natural hair and grow a long and healthy hair very fast without having the setbacks that I have had. So if this sounds like something that you would like to listen to, please keep on watching this video. The very first mistake I made in my natural hair journey was not taking trimming seriously. Guys, before I started growing my hair and before I was natural, I was on low cut for 6 years. So I had this big mentality that once I start to grow my hair, I had to keep every single strand of hair. I had to save as much as possible. And while this sounds smart, it sounds smart to the layman, but if you really dig into the anatomy of your hair strand, you realize that hair is very prone to wear and tear. And so if you leave your hair for years without trimming it, you're going to have a lot of wear and tear, which looks like split ends, single strand knots, frayed ends, and it's not going to look pretty. So while I was still growing hair from my scalp, after years, about 4 years of not trimming my hair, it started to show forth in my hair look. Like my hair looked very frayed, it looked thin at the ends. Even if it was long, it was not long enough for someone that had had natural hair for almost 5 years at this point. So I had to go back to the drawing board. I had to look and see if there was any tip that I had neglected while researching on natural hair, and I found out that one of the tips, the major tip that I had neglected, was trimming my ends. And boy, once I discovered that this was because of almost all my natural hair woes and problems, I got on it. Now my hair isn't at the optimum level, because imagine not trimming your hair for over 4 years, but I am slowly catching up. So one major mistake that I would really advise that you don't make is going long period of times without trimming your hair. It is counterproductive. Trust me. So I would advise that you trim your hair on schedule, maybe every 6 months, every 4 months, every 3 months. And some people even go as extreme as doing every 6 weeks, but that doesn't still make sense to me. I'm sorry. The next hair mistake I made was doing long-term protective styles back to back. Guys, like I said, my head was in the right place. I had the right mindset, which was a growth mindset. So I just had this feeling that I just had to leave my hair alone for a very long period of time and not disturb it, so that I can retain as much length as possible. Now, it sounds wise, right? But it's actually not wise. So what happens when you do back-to-back long-term protective style? So I'm talking of any protective style that is over a month. You do that and then you're losing your hair and repeat it. Even if you change styles, but you repeat doing that long-term protective style again, it's going to be counterproductive, because that means that you're not caring for your hair strands as much as you should. So you can develop all sorts of scalp infections, scalp issues, dandruff that, trust me, you don't want to deal with if it's not necessary. Another thing is that it led to hair thinning. So it's like my hair is in a prolonged stretched state and is in a tight style for a long time. So over time, my hair started to thin out. It led to a lot of hair breakage. It wasn't just pretty. And so if I could go back to advise myself, and just the way I'm advising you right now, I would really advise that you wait it out, right? So once you do a long-term protective style, give your hair 2 weeks, give it a month for you to have time to treat it, to restore it back to its normal health before going for another set of long-term protective style. The very next mistake I made in my natural hair journey was not detangling my hair thoroughly. Again, I had the growth mindset. So I just felt like if I was too thorough, then it would mean that I'll have to go through so many strands, and then that would mean that I'll have to break off like a good number of my hair that I was planning to save. Somehow it made sense in my mind. I'd also watched videos where they said that as a 4C hair girl, you don't have to thoroughly detangle your hair because your hair can never get detangled. And I bought into that mindset because it made sense to me. But I found out that not detangling my hair properly led to more tangles and then more breakage, and then it just made my hair less manageable, and so it just didn't make sense anymore. The fourth mistake I made was to be making very tight hairstyles. Now I know that this is similar to the second mistake I made, but the reason why I need to emphasize on this is because whether you're doing a long-term protective hairstyle or you're doing a short-term protective hairstyle, if you're always doing really tight styles, it's going to affect your hair journey. It's going to lead to a lot of scalp injuries, inflammation. It's going to lead to hair breakage, hair thinning, and trust me, your natural hair journey is going to be affected by it. So I would say that you should go for low manipulation hairstyles, and that even if you're doing elaborate hairstyles, make sure that your hairstylist or you yourself are not so tight with it. The very next mistake I made in my natural hair journey was using a towel to dry my hair after washing. Now, you may ask yourself, why is that bad? I need to drain off the excess water. That is what I thought as well. But then I realized that every time I used a normal towel to dry out my hair, I would see pieces of my hair on the towel. I didn't realize that this was slowly reducing the length of my hair. This was slowly making my hair density lower. And so discovering microfiber towels and cotton t-shirt was a real game changer for me. So I would advise that if you're someone right now that after washing your hair, you dry your hair out with towels, change it, switch it up, use microfiber towels or use a cotton t-shirt. The very next mistake that I made in my natural hair journey that really cost me a lot of length was keeping quiet while my hairstylist was snagging at my hair. Guys, I don't know if it's a personality thing, but I find it difficult to be confrontational when the person is in front of me, especially if I don't know the person. So I would say that somewhat I'm a confrontational person, but it's easier for me to just send it via text that, oh, I didn't like what you did and stuff like that. So whenever a hairstylist is doing my hair, usually sometimes I don't like it exactly, but I'm not able to express myself because I just don't want the person to feel somehow. I don't want the environment to become tense. I just want to watch my YouTube video while she's making my hair and move on with it. But this has cost me a lot of strands, guys, because literally the way they'll be combing the hair like I attacked them in their dream, or the way they'll be parting it, I just know at that point that I'm losing a lot of strands, but I don't talk. But now I've learned that closed mouths don't get fed. Literally, if you want to retain as much strand, if you work so hard for your hair, you've been doing so many healthy practices, you don't want to ruin or set back your hair journey by one stylist mishandling and manhandling your hair. So I would advise you that before you even start making that hairstyle, tell your hairstylist, I understand that you want whatever style you're doing to turn out well, but actually my hair growing from my scalp is more important to me than the hair that you're making. So please do not snag at my hair. Please treat it gently. Please detangle from tips to roots. Don't just drag it out from my roots. You have to have those conversations with them so that they will know what your goals are and they will prioritize your goals. The very next mistake I made was washing my hair too infrequently. Guys, have you heard the saying before where they say that dirty hair grows? I used to believe that. I used to believe that if I just left my hair alone and didn't wash it, even though my hair was itching me, my hair would grow faster. And guys, when I tell you that is a lie, look at me. If you don't have your bath after a month, then you shouldn't be washing your hair after a month. It should be more frequent than that, because your hair, your scalp is an extension of your skin. Your skin gets dirty. So yes, your scalp gets dirty. Even if you're not putting oils on it, your scalp produces natural sebum that gets dirty because it would attract the dirt and the germs in the environment. And not washing your hair will lead to so many scalp infections, so many scalp issues, dandruff, itchy scalp, lice. You don't want that. So yes, it didn't help me, and it didn't help to provide a good environment for my hair to thrive. So washing your hair infrequently is a wrong thing to do, and you should wash it more frequently. So once a week, once in 2 weeks, once in 3 weeks, once a month is a stretch, but I guess life can happen sometimes, so you can get away with it sometimes, but not all the time. So if you've watched to this point, guys, honestly, I would truly appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel, if you turn on your bell notification so that you'll be alerted whenever I post. If you give this video a huge like, it will come in handy and it will really make me happy that I offered value to you you guys. The very next mistake I made was comparing my hair journey to others. Now guys, you know we live in a social media age and extremes are really glorified, so you have to be really stand out-ish. That's not a word, but we're just going to use it. But you have to stand out so much somehow on social media for you to be glorified as the standard. And I realized that these girls that were put forward to me as the standard were not the norm. The truth is that how many people have you met that has crazy density that their hair just looks like? Do you get, like, usually people are more average, they're more normal, but average and normal doesn't always mean bad. And so I would see their hair being extremely dense, and I'll be like, why is my hair not extremely dense? I'll see their hair extremely thick, and then I will ask myself, why do I just have an average strand of hair? Why is my hair not thick? Some people, like, you see them like literally manhandling their hair in a way and nothing is happening, but then I know that the case is not the same for me. And so comparing my hair really brought a setback to my hair journey, because it made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. It made me feel like my hair wasn't producing enough. And you know what happens with bad energy? When you start having negative energy about something, it just doesn't thrive as much. But now that I've decided to accept my hair for what it is, accept my own gene, the gene that God has given me, I found that my hair is thriving more. So I would advise you that in as much as you take advice on people that their hair is growing really well, accept how your hair grows. Don't accept that your hair does not grow, because I know that there are some people that are like, oh, my hair doesn't grow, my hair doesn't grow, my family, everybody's hair grows, okay? You just have to figure out what works. But just accept that in as much as my hair would grow, it won't look like the next person. And trust me, you would go further in your journey that way. The very next mistake I made in my natural hair journey was using smelly products to try to grow my hair. Guys, this is not a scientific advice or a scientific mistake, but this is just something that made me feel uncomfortable. So in a bit to grow my hair, I used to put things like onions in my hair, rice, fermented rice water, just disgusting things. And yes, I know that people have showed that it grows, but I'm just like, okay, you know what? Are there people that can grow their hair, or are there people that have grown their hair without using all these smelly products? And I found out that there are tons of people that have been able to grow their hair without using all these smelly products. So it just made me feel like, you know what? I don't have to put myself through that. Like, I don't have to be smelling like onions because I want to grow my hair, or be smelling like fermented rice, or what other disgusting thing. In fact, right now in the comment section below, if you know any hair product or DIY thing that they've told you that grows your hair and you find it really disgusting and smelly, please leave it down in the comment section below. Let's have a good laugh. Trust me, those things are fine, but I just feel like, why does it have to be so hard? Why are people able to grow their hair without putting smelly things, and I have to endure smelly things? So that's just kind of my logic. However, this doesn't mean that it's a no for me to try a new product or a new fruit in the market that they say grows the hair. But even if I have to try those things, I'm going to make sure that I infuse things like lemon or essential oils to make sure that it doesn't smell so bad. Now, this is the 10th mistake that I made, but you don't want to go right now, because you remember I have a bonus tip that will be really helpful for you guys. All right, so my 10th tip is deep conditioning overnight. I used to hear that a lot, that you have to deep condition overnight so that you make sure that your hair is moisturized, since fussy hair girls or natural hair girls have very dry hair and stuff like that. Guys, you don't even need to deep condition for over 30 minutes. Trust me, and your hair will still be moisturized. Or let me put it this way, those that deep condition their hair overnight and those that deep condition their hair after 30 minutes will still have hair that is dry at the same rate. Like, if your hair naturally gets dry after 3 days, even if you did it overnight, your hair will still get dry after 3 days. Do you understand? So it's counterproductive, right? Because it can lead to hydro fatigue. See guys, in as much as we don't want our hair to be too dry, we don't also want our hair to be too moist, to be too filled with moisture and water, because it can make our strands really weak. Our hair is the weakest when it's extremely moist, so it's more prone to breakage, it's more prone to split ends, holes in your hair, and trust me, it will make your natural hair journey really frustrating, really bad. So in as much as you want to infuse moisture into your strands, just make sure that you do it for 30 minutes to an hour. If you feel like you want to give your hair extra TLC, then you can do it for 2 hours. But overnight is just unnecessary. Also, remember, we're trying to make our natural hair journey easier. So why exactly do you have to sleep with deep conditioner in your hair? I've tried it before and it's so uncomfortable, because it's like sometimes water is dripping down your body, your pillow is smelling like deep conditioner. It's just a lot, and yeah, it's not for me, bro. It shouldn't be for you, bro, because it doesn't, I don't know why I'm calling you, bro. It doesn't have to be so hard, but do you, boo? But my advice, not necessary. My advice, it puts your hair at risk, okay? Now to the bonus point. Guys, please subscribe so far if you've enjoyed the tips. I'm so sorry for the audio noise. I know it's bad, but I just have to get this video out there, and I don't know how else to do it. Okay, so the very last point, which is the bonus point, which is also really important, is to know your hair description. So when I say know your hair description, what do I mean? I mean that you need to be able to describe your hair to the next person. So I'm just going to say this. Hi, my name is Jennifer from Accra. My hair is medium to long in length. It's prone to breakage because it's thin. So I have thin and fine strands, I have medium density, and I have a 4C type hair. So this is the description, and this is the way I will describe my hair. Right now in the comment section, I need you to go introduce yourself to me and to us in the comment section below, and describe your hair characteristics to us in the comment section below. Now, do you know why this is so important? I hope you've done it, guys. But do you know why this is so important? It's so important because a lot of people don't even know the kind of hair they have. They don't even know the porosity they have. By the way, yes, my porosity is medium porosity. It is not high porosity and it is not low porosity. So it means that my hair gets moisturized easily, and it also gets dry like averagely, not really easily. Like, it takes time, but it's not high porosity, neither is it low porosity. So you can do those tests and find out, and leave it in the comment section below, because it would really help you to know what kind of hair you have. And this is important because on the internet today, you have so many people giving you advice on how to take care of your hair. But if you don't know how your hair behaves, if you don't know your hair characteristics, you would not know which tips applies to you and which tip does not. Let me use an example. I've actually seen a licensed hair chemist say that people should deep condition their hair overnight. And then I discovered that from her own hair description, she has extremely dense and thick hair. So she has found that deep conditioning overnight has helped her hair to become more manageable for her. Now I realized that, okay, the average person does not have strands that are so thick and strong and difficult, right? So first of all, you don't know how to put yourself through that stress. Second of all, it works for her specifically. Knowing your hair description would really come in handy to help you to know what would work for you. So when you are hearing an advice, because you know yourself so much, because you know your hair so much, you know that, okay, this advice would definitely work for my hair and my hair problems, and then you know that this advice would not work. I hope this makes sense. All right, so with that being said, we've come to the end of this video. Trust me, I was so stressed filming this video because what in the heat is this and what in the noise is this? But I hope I offered so much value to you guys. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I want to make your natural hair journey really easy and really manageable for you. Also, I'm trying to build a community of people that grow hair just like mine. So please follow my Instagram page. It's also called Her Crown, but it's going to be linked on the screen here and in the description box down below. So please follow me. Please like this video. Honestly, I would really appreciate if you do. Subscribe to this channel for more helpful tips. Turn on your bell notification so that every time I post a new video, you would be the first person to know. And yeah, guys, share with your friends that you feel like might need this video, and I would definitely see you in my next one.